Hey girls, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing some really pretty spring themed dip powder nails using products from Double Dip Nails. I do already have my nails prepped how I want for this application. As you guys know, I do have gel polish and peel base for easy and quick nail removal. I do already have my nail tips sized out and I did file over the surface of them to allow the dip powder to adhere properly. To apply them, I am just taking the dip base, which is number 2, and applying a little bit onto the back of the nail tip. After the dip base has been applied, I'm just going to go ahead and glue it to the tip of the nail. I am going to go ahead and glue all of the other nails into place. I personally found that I really like to glue nail tips on the very edge of my nail. I feel like it gives me a better look for my nails, and that's just what I prefer to do. Here are the nail tips after they've all been glued into place. I'm then going to be taking this nail tip cutter. This is one of the measuring ones. I put it to the longest setting, but I did want these nails to be a little bit longer. So I'm just going to go ahead and clip down all of the nail tips to about the same length. After the nail tips have been cut down, I am taking a hand file and slightly reshaping the edges of the nail tips. I'm not doing this too much. The main purpose of this is to just try to blend in the corners of the nail tips, just so that I can get a better dip powder application. Here are the nails after the nail tips are all prepped, and now we're ready for the dip powder application. For this manicure, I am going to be using these two dip powder colors from Double Dip. I'm using number 23, which is called Nude, and 653, which is called Green Charm. I am going to be using this diamond from my diamond dish just to prop up my finger. To apply the dip powder, I am going to be using the dip base, which is number 2. I'm going to go ahead and start by applying the dip base onto the nail. I'm just applying this right underneath where the nail tip meets my natural nail, and after doing the thin strip of base, I'm going to dip into the dip powder and tap away all of the excess. For the green nails, I am doing my pinky, middle finger, and thumbnail. You can switch this around however you want. You can also use any colors of your choice, but this is just what I'm doing for my manicure. Because I didn't have a ton of the nude dip powder color left, I am going to be taking my cuticle pusher and just pouring the dip powder over top of the wet base. I do personally prefer to dip into the jar, but when my nails are too long, or if I'm running out of that dip powder color, I do have to pour the dip powder over top of the base. And again, I'm going to be applying the nude dip powder to the index nail as well. After that layer of dip powder is fully dry, I am taking the mermaid tail fluffy nail brush and I'm going to be dusting away all of the excess dip powder from all of the nails. You want to do that step very well to prevent ruining your dip liquids. I'm going to go ahead and do the second layer of dip powder. For this second layer, I am slowly building up the layers of dip powder, so I am covering a bigger area of the nail than the previous dip powder layer. I do say this in a lot of my recent videos, but the reason that I'm applying the dip powder this way is because the length of the nails. Because they are so long, I do need to build a good structure for these nails to prevent them from breaking. If you have short nails, you really don't need to do this many layers of dip powder. I like to do 5 total layers of dip powder for nails this length, but to get a good color coverage of your dip powder nails, you want to do at least 2 layers of dip powder. I'm going to continue and do the second layer of dip powder to all of the nails. This step does get a little bit repetitive, so I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys watch, but for each continuing layer of dip powder, I'm just applying the dip base to a larger area of the nail and then going ahead and dipping into the powder. I do want to go ahead and say my dip powder application for this nail set was not as good as it usually is. I'm not quite sure why it turned out as lumpy as it did. I definitely think it was a personal issue and not the product's fault because I worked really well with these products. But for some reason, the dip powder application turned out a little bit more lumpy than usual. By the 4th layer of dip powder, I am able to fully cover the entire nail, But after the fourth layer is completely dry, I do the fifth and final layer of dip powder just to make sure I have the correct opacity of the dip powder color over the entire nail. Some people do choose to encapsulate their dip powder nails with a clear dip powder for the shaping and filing. Personally, I don't really do that. I just do an extra layer of the dip powder color. This is just a personal preference. Once I finish the fifth layer of dip powder and everything is dry and dusted, I am taking the activator, which is number 3, and I'm going to be applying this very generously to all of the nails. Activator is very important because it does harden the layers of dip powder and allow you to properly shape and file the nails. After the activator is dry, I am taking the professional portable e-file and a fine grit sanding band, and I'm just going to be filing the surface of the nail. You don't always have to use an e-file, but my application for this set was pretty lumpy, so I wanted to use an e-file just to make the process a little bit quicker. I'm then taking a hand file and I'm going to be reshaping the edges of the nails. I did also file over the surface of the nail with the hand file as well, just to get that perfect smooth surface. If your nails are not bumpy at all, you can get away with just using a buffer, but I would still recommend to use a hand file. I did the rest of the filing off camera and I actually did shorten them quite a bit, so here's what the nails look like after they've all been shaped and filed. I really love how these are turning out so far. I think they're so cute. Let's go ahead and move on to the nail art. I am taking the base coat gel. This is from one of the polygel kits. It does come in every single polygel kit. I will link my favorite one down below in the description. I'm just going to be applying a thin layer of the base coat gel to the index and the ring fingernail. I will be honest, I had something completely different in my mind, and that is why I'm applying the base coat gel, but honestly for the nail design that I did, you really don't need the base coat. For the ring fingernail, I was planning to do some hand painted nail art, and for some reason I could not get it to look how I wanted. I was getting a little bit frustrated, so I ended up switching out that nail design. For the index nail, it was supposed to be a dip powder ombre scrub, but the green color did not show up over top of the nude color, so I ended up doing a different design for that one as well. I just wanted to go ahead and mention that this was not my original plan for this nail set. I'm then taking the Bella Vena top coat gel. This again is from the polygel kits. I'm just going to be applying a layer of this onto the pinky and the middle fingernail. Before I cure the top coat, I am taking these rhinestones. Again, this is from one of the polygel kits. I'm going to be using my rhinestone picker and I'm going to pick up the really tiny silver rhinestones. I'm going to be placing these around the cuticle area of the pinky and the middle fingernail. Once I have all of the rhinestones placed, I did go ahead and cure. Next, I am taking these 3D flowers. These are so pretty and the green one matched the dip powder color perfectly. So I am going to be using these green flowers to place on the nail. I am going back with my top coat gel and applying a layer onto the ring fingernail. As I was saying, that's pretty much why it was pointless for me to apply the base coat gel, but directly into the wet gel, I am applying the flowers. I'm placing a big flower at the cuticle area and then 3 smaller ones going down the nail. Inside of the flower container, they did have really tiny pearls, so I'm taking the bigger one and I'm applying some top coat directly onto the pearl and I'm placing that inside of the big flower. I did go ahead and do the same thing to the 2 smaller flowers, and then I remembered I was planning to put the pearls beside the flower, so I just went ahead and moved those pearls off of the flowers. Once I have all of the flowers placed perfectly, I did go ahead and cure under the nail lamp for 1 minute. For the thumbnail, I am going to be doing the same thing that I did for the other green nails. Again, I'm just starting by applying the top coat gel to the entire thumbnail. After the top coat gel has been applied, I am taking these silver rhinestones and placing them around the cuticle. For the index nail, I am taking these holographic butterfly stickers that I had. I am trying to pick the most green ones, so this row right here is very green and the one above it looks pretty green as well. I'm just going to be placing these butterfly nail stickers onto the index nail. When applying nail stickers, you do want to make sure to push out all of the air bubbles and have them as flat against the nail as possible. I did apply a second butterfly sticker onto the nail as well. After the butterfly stickers have been placed, I am taking the top coat gel again and I'm going to be applying a layer to the entire nail. I am going back with the silver rhinestones. I actually placed them in different areas on the nail for this part of the video. Off camera, I did decide I didn't like how this looked, so I took all of them off and only put one rhinestone at the cuticle area. I did go ahead and cure that under the nail lamp. Last, I am taking the cuticle oil, which is number 6, and I'm going to be applying this very generously to all of the cuticles. It is important to rehydrate your skin after every single manicure. And here are the nails. I think these are so cute. They are a bit more simple than my last few nail sets, but I absolutely love these. They are perfect for beginners. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. If you're not already, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!